Hello, everyone. Welcome into the July meetup today. It's a special one today because we're going for a live coding. Our most popular feature, Slices, got even more powerful, and we want to show you that in a live demo where we're going to live coding session, where we're going to actually code an actual section. The format of live coding was one of the most popular sessions that we did, and we thought, like, how about we give you what you like. Today I'm not alone here. I'm not the one to be coding. I'm here with Lucy.
Hey, I'm Lucy. I'm from the Developer Experience team, and we also have Alex today.
Yes, we have Alex. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm Alex. I'm also from the Developer Experience team, and yeah, I don't get to be in Paris during the Olympics, but it's not so bad over here in Connecticut, and yeah, I'm doing well.
Oh, thanks for being here. It's going to be awesome. So the Olympics, you mentioned the Olympics. I don't know, like it's the Olympics fever nowadays, right? And everyone is a lot of people are watching, and we're here in Paris.
Yeah,
so.
I came to Paris today, and like it was crazy to see like all the tourism, like all the security, everything. Like it's really a lively city. Whereas like usually in summer, like Paris is pretty chill.
Yes,
but not this time.
Not this time. So what you're watching in Olympics? What kind of sports?
Me, I've been watching a lot like the horse riding competition. It's taken place in the Versailles
very
castle,
luxurious place.
palace, I don't know.
Yeah, the palace. Yeah.
And it's like really a beautiful like setting for taking such like like to see horses.
Yeah,
and like
beautiful.
Great like venue.
And it's
everything.
green and all there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you've been watching?
I also watched a bit of the fencing. It's happening in the Grand Palais.
Yeah.
And like the setting is also like quite mesmerizing to see, like with like all the room being dark, like the glasses on the floor of the.
Actually, you watched it live. You went there.
No, I watched it on the TV.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like the Grand Palais is like a really like big building, like with a glass roof in Paris, and like they cover like all the glasses with like some kind of veil of some sort, and like it gets like a really muted atmosphere that is really great for fencing, like to focus on the action of people fencing.
It's very technical, right? It's and a very dense moments.
Yeah,
in the fencing.
It's a bit like badminton. I think like you're like crazy reflexes to fence.
Well, I think we have a lot in common with fencing. I do a lot of badminton, and I went actually to the arena and I watched on Sunday. And actually, I was watching that before here, and it's very impressive to see these very top players playing. And it's very much like fencing, right? Because you have this profile and like a sword. So it's great. Well, people in the chat, are you watching the Olympics? What kind of sports you're supporting? Are you in Paris? Are you watching on your TV? Please tell us in the chat so we get we start chatting together. I think it's a good opportunity for Paris, and it's as you said, normally summer is calm, and now it's very busy. Alex, have you been into watching any of the Olympics?
Well, I just want to say it's good for Paris in the sense that now you have a clean river, right? Like that going forward should be nice, that you can swim in that again maybe. But yeah, honestly, I've only been watching the NBA.
Very good.
Basketball, right? Because it's not the NBA, it's the Olympics.
No.
But Team USA is just. It is unreal this year, just like Steph Curry and LeBron and Kevin Durant. Like it is like a really stacked team. It's a lot of fun to watch them. So,
We
it's
wanted
good.
we wanted so much to watch them. Like, it was like a big opportunity for the French people or people living
Oh
in
my
Paris
gosh,
to
yeah.
watch them, but the ticket is so expensive. It was impossible, So
Can only
it's a big show
imagine.
there. It's a big show.
Yeah, it's like an all-star game with it's super cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I saw the Beyonce ad they made for Team USA, which is quite like.
Oh, I didn't see it. I have to.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't see that.
they made an ad with Beyonce, like cheering their athletes, and it was really nice.
Very nice.
Cool.
Oh well, Alex from the chat is saying been watching skateboarding, surfing, gymnastics. Wow, skateboarding.
I didn't know
guess-
skateboarding was in this here. That's cool.
I didn't know that. And surfing should be cool.
Yeah.
Surfing's cool. Did you see that picture? Chat. Did you see that picture of if you've seen it, you know what I mean. Type like amazing Olympic surfing picture, chat, into your Google.
I will type it. Yeah.
It's yeah. It's something to check out later because it is one of the most incredible pictures I've seen in like years. So
Yeah.
it's really neat.
Like
Very cool.
like for surfing, like they've been having like crazy weather. Like they have like huge waves, and like they've been forced like to postpone like some events because like it's too dangerous. But this led like to crazy pictures being taken.
Well, I will make sure I think I recommend everyone to look and make this little search and look at how it looks like. Well, here, well, I have also in the chat of people talking about Versailles and how impressive it is with the horses and all, and beach volleyball. I love beach volleyball, and I'm going to often I go to set, and I watch. Oh, I saw this picture. Is it real? It's not real.
Yeah. Oh, it's real. Yeah. Like I saw
Can
the
you-
video. So
Can we put it in some way?
You
Like
want to
see-
Alex's
if
screen?
you can show this,
Screen.
it's not edited. That is just a real
So
photograph.
I saw this and I was like, oh yeah. So what is this? Like Photoshop or something?
Yeah.
This is
He-
real.
He crushed the wave and like he just like kind of like launches off and in the air he does that. His board's up. It's just a great timing picture. It just feels so surreal. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just cool. But anyway,
Very cool.
Okay.
cool.
Wow.
So, well, we can talk about this. There are so many different sports, and it's
Yeah.
a good moment to discover all the sports and how impressive humans can be in shaping something like this.
Yeah.
It's very cool. So, can you tell us what you got for us today in the live coding?
Yeah.
I guess everyone is waiting for that. So.
Yeah, well, let's jump into it. And well, today we want to do some live coding. And I don't know, like maybe some of you watched our courses on YouTube, but there's like our fan favorite course, which is Glisten AI. It's a site made with Next.js, and maybe Alex, you have it around, or I have it around. And it's a site we've made on YouTube, and it's really great. It's like taking up the linear vibe that you have here, and it's like really this like sleek like design, like dark mode, like muted colors, like highlights, thin borders, like everything animations. And so, well, like we've made this website on YouTube. It's available for a full course there, and today we want to iterate on it and want to add a new slide to it. And this slide will be also inspired from Linear. So this is Linear homepage, and on their homepage they have this really interesting slice that we want to explore today, which is this one. And it's a slice that basically highlights features from Netlify and also like check boxes, like for example, like yeah, we have SSO, we have a SOC 2 compliant, like we're like enterprise ready. Basically, that's what Linear wants to say with this slice. And so we want to try to replicate these slices on Prismic using Slice Machine for our website Glisten AI that is inspired from Linear design vibe, design era.
Yeah, very good. And just quickly to introduce for people that are not as familiar with slices, there are these sections. You know, if you look at any website, you see it's made of sections: the hero, the logos, the features, and so on and so on. And with Prismic, we take them as first citizens, so that we have a concept inside the CMS, inside the page builder, that is slices, and then it will allow you to compose your pages in that way. And this is very powerful, and it allows a lot of flexibility for the marketing team and a lot of modularity for the developers. But with these kind of sections, with this slice, there are some other challenges. It's a bit more advanced as a slice. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so if we go back to this slice here, you can see that there's a small feature on it that like might like that makes it like really that well, it was complex to make that kind of slices in Prismic before, because as you can see, we have two kind of lists. We have a list of features here with like the feature name, like its description. We have 3 items of this kind of feature, and then here we have like this small like checklist of like, yeah, we are like, yeah, we have SSO, we're SOC 2 compliant, and so on, which is another like kind of repeatable item here. And prior to that in Prismic, it was really hard to model that kind of slices, because you only had the repeatable zone, which allowed you to only repeat up to one kind of item.
Right.
But here, like, we want 3 items of features and like 4 items of checklist. And wow,
And they're separate.
Yeah, and they're separate. Like, you want to add as many features as you want to add as many checklist items as you want.
Yeah.
Like, you want to empower your content writer with that and this flexibility. And this is not something that is available for you to model in Prismic and Size Machine. So maybe, Alex, that's time for you to show us that in Size Machine. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, so as Lucy said here, if we show my screen, we've got this slice, and yeah, whenever we want to build a slice, we want to start out by kind of like picking it apart and seeing, okay, what fields do I need to upload here? Or sorry, do I need to create here? And we're going to create a heading here. We have a body, and we also have this image on the side that we want. And then, as Lucy pointed out, we have these 2 different groups, or groups of items. So we're going to create 1 and 2. This is going to be like a features group and then a checklist. So let's get into that. So over in Slice Machine, I have, this is Slice Machine, sorry. This is our developer tool that makes it really easy to create these slices and to create page types that, as Sadek pointed out, you can then ship to Prismic, and then your content team can use it to build. And as he said, we have our hero. So all of the different parts of the website are shown here, and we're going to create a new one. So we're going to just call this feature slice, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're, I think
feature
so. Cool.
List, feature
So you have features on it, right?
Can you call it feature list?
Feature list. Yeah, that makes more sense. Cool. And then in here, we want to go ahead and add some fields. As I said, we have that heading. So I'm just going to tab back, show that heading and the body. So we'll start by saying a rich text. And before we go too far, we can kind of point out this nice new add field drop down. It's just a nice upgrade that shows you what it's going to look like in Prismic when your editors are using it. So exactly. And down here, we have that repeatable group. So if we go ahead and add a rich text field, we're going to say heading, and I'm going to go in and edit. And I don't want my editors to be able to like put images in here. So I'm going to go ahead, unselect all, make it an H2, and allow multiple paragraphs. Add my next field. I'm going to make this body. And kind of the opposite of heading, I'm going to go in and just make sure that this is just paragraph. I sometimes turn on the bold and italic to give them some freedom. Let's do it. Let's be generous, right? And then we need that image on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and add that.
On the side, there's like a subtle like background decorative image on the right. So we're just handling that with an image field in Prismic.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best way to do it here. Now we have gotten those 3 parts out of the way, and now we're on to our lists. So for that, we're going to pull in the new repeatable group field, a set of fields that editors can repeat. So in here, we will just define each of those fields once. I'm going to call this features. And we're going to add that field, and we're going to first say that this is a text field. We're just going to say title. Oh, no, sorry. Not a text field. I'm going all over the place. A rich text field called title. And in here, I want to make this an H3 because we're inside a section that has an H2. And so this is going to be an H3. And
I love how you respect the hierarchy of the headings, so that it looks really nice for the editors, and you get the right content on the API.
Yeah, it's going to look a lot better in Prismic because they'll be able to see like the size difference. And then we get it out on the other end, and we can do whatever we want with it from there. So I keep clicking that when I want to add a field. So rich text, we're going to say this is a description. And we're just going to let the paragraph be shown. Yeah, I'll take off allow multiple paragraphs. And that's really all we need for that, right? We just need the title and the description. And then last, we're going to create this second group, and this is going to have an icon and a label. So here, I'm going to go back up here, add a field.
So when we're working size matching like that, defining the model file sizes, we're really defining like what data we want to get from Prismic, but we're also shaping up the content edition experience like content writer will have when using Prismic as a CMS. And really, that's why it's important, like to put like nice names for everything, and also like to think about like putting a heading here, because like this will render like as a heading in the writing room, whereas like if you just put a text, it will render as a text. It will be harder to like relate. Like what am I editing as an editor?
It has a structure and improve the usability. You are responsible as a developer to optimize the experience for content writers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I just added our icon, and I constrained it to 128 pixels just to make sure it's coming through nice and small. And then that's everything. So we just modeled out that entire slice in a couple minutes. It might have been faster if I wasn't talking so much, but that went really fast. And so now if we quickly go over to our code, we see we have slices, and we have a brand new slice here called feature list. We have some boilerplate code, and then we have our mocks, which will be auto-generated. It's just going to say some basic things, and then we have the model that essentially the GUI, the UI that we just worked with, just structured this all out for me. Some other CMSs have you type this out. I'm really glad that we have something like Slice Machine. Just I don't want to type this and potentially get stuff wrong and whatever else, right?
Yeah, like there are two things here. Is that you don't want to type it, but you need to have it in that kind of format so you can commit with the code. So you need both at the same time, and it's good that you're having this. From the chat, you have thank God for the repeatable field from Fernando, and there is it's recommended to define the image dimensions because it crops the image that I upload. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Would you say so, Lucy?
The cropping is a bit weird. I'm not sure I get it properly, but here what I say is like we're working with icons. So like we don't like if the icon's like really large, we just want like a small size icon because like we want to display it like really big on the UI. So that's why we're like sizing it down to like 128 pixels. I think that's what you did, Alex, which should be more than enough for like most screens with like device pixel ratio and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, cool. So now Prismic has this great feature called the Slice Simulator, and it's essentially the same thing that we're going to see later in the page builder. But if we click this button here, it is going to launch this Slice Simulator where before we even push all of our code to Prismic, or before we go in and add a bunch of content, we can go ahead and build that right here in the Slice Simulator. It takes a little bit to compile the first time, but after a quick refresh, that should.
Yeah. In all fairness, like that's Next.js. Like we just restarted the server before, and it takes sometimes to compile a page for the first time.
It'll take about 45 seconds from last we tried that. So, but yeah, it's Next compiling it.
Very cool.
There we go. 39 seconds.
Yeah, here we go.
New record. Cool. So now we're in, and as we see, we have kind of a boring slice right now. But over here, we have these mocks that were auto-generated for us. And so I just want to point out like how nice that is. I don't have to go find an image from the internet. I don't have to fill in the lorem ipsum. It's already doing that for me. And if I had my fields in here, you'd be able to see that it just begins to populate. So those mocks are really handy.
If I don't like them, can I edit them?
You can go ahead and change them.
Oh, okay, cool.
And actually, yeah. So, well, we won't see it here, but maybe later on we can like show it again, like the live editions UX, because right now we're not rendering any content on our site.
Yes.
But yeah, well, maybe let's code a bit and like see how that works once we have some content.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So we can go ahead and get rid of the placeholder. And in this site, I already have a bunch of slices already built out. And so what I noticed or what Lucy noticed actually, I should say, is that this slice here is pretty similar. Oh, sorry, this part of a slice, because the slice is actually this, and then we have these repeated items that link to a case study within the website. So it links over here, but that part right here looks a lot like this, with the text on one side and the image on the other. So as a developer, I'm lazy. I'm going to copy and paste some of this. So I'm going to go into this case studies component, and I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab all of these imports just to save me some time of like importing things later. If I don't use anything, I can just remove it later. But for the sake of the demo, it's nice to have all the imports set. And then we're going to go inside the map right inside here, and we're just going to grab from the div to here and copy that over. So we're not going to have that part repeat, but we're going to have the rest of it repeat, and we'll fix all this stuff up. The other thing that we're going to use is this bounded component that is on all of the slices. And if you are building slices, I'm sure you've got some kind of method out there of making sure that all of your slices have the same like alignment, right? So like that the padding and the width and everything isn't different from slice to slice, unless you are intending it to be, right? Like unless you have a certain style that wants to break out of that. But for the most part, having a component like this is really handy. So we're going to change this section to bounded.
Yeah, and you might know this component as like a container component. Maybe
exactly.
If you worked with Bootstrap or other framework. So yeah, just like to center our content.
Yeah, so we're going to come in here, and instead of an H3, because remember, this was an item a bit lower down, this will be an H2 now. And we are going to come back to Slice Machine, and we're going to use the code snippets here. So one of my favorite features, where I don't have to guess at what that thing is called, or like do a console log of the slice, and then like I don't console log much anymore since I started using Prismic, honestly. So it just saves me so much time. So I'm gonna come in here, I can swap this out for the heading. I can also just type it, but we've got a couple of differences. Yeah.
I don't think you need to change the component in that case. It was already great, but yeah, that's like this might render like here, like you had Prismic text, which would render just the text.
Yeah.
It is this would render like two H2 text, but yeah.
Do you want to explain the difference between Prismic text and Prismic rich text?
Of course. So we have like the Prismic rich text, which is like really like some kind of in Prismic rich text, like some kind of our WYSIWYG editor. And like Prismic rich text renders that as HTML. So like in our editor, like we had an heading 2 tag, and so this would render an H2 with like its content inside it. But here we just want the text of it because we're handling the H2 part. Like we already have an H2 wrapper around it. So we don't want like to render an H2 within an H2. So we just use Prismic text to render the text content of that Prismic rich text here.
Yeah, basically just give me the text, give me the raw text, and I will deal with it.
Yeah, perfect.
And
yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, well, like here we're working with Next.js and React today, but we have the same helpers and same component for Vue, for Next, for React, for Svelte and ZKit.
For Svelte as well, yeah.
So if you use any of those technologies, they all work the same way, and we got you covered.
Yeah, and they're a joy to use. So in this case studies component, I'm using a bit of CSS to make these alternate, so that like I don't want my editors to have to like figure out like, is this on the left or right? Just use CSS to make these alternate. So if they were to add a third one, it would go on the other side. But in this component, we don't have that same setup. Instead, I want my editors to be able to move this image over to that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variation. And that's going to call this reversed. And with this, this will just come in as a prop that I can change my component however I want. Right now, I have it so that if the index is even, it changes. If it's odd, it goes back the other way. But instead here, I want to say slice.variation is equal to, and here TypeScript should come in and help me out, but it's not. Any idea why, Lucy? I'm not sure.
Well, it's maybe
might
just
be
not
dark.
picked up today, but you can put reverse.
Yeah.
And it will
So
get.
usually TypeScript is right there because if you see over here,
I think it picked it
our
up.
types have updated. It did.
Yeah, if you hover variation, it will be happy with it.
Yeah, on variation it did. Yeah, default or reverse, but sometimes it helps me out there too. Anyway, no big deal. So now if that is the variation, it'll change the order. So that's really, really nice. And we can actually see that, I think. Oh, no, right. We haven't built this out yet. Let's keep going.
But a question, Alex. Yes, I'm going to slow you down a little bit, but this variation is like the same set of fields. It's exactly the same. It just has a different property on the variation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, great question, because variations can vary greatly in that they can have completely different sets of fields, or it could be exactly the same. Like I have some slices that I've built where this might only have a heading and a body, and then a variation will have the image added, and then another variation will have these groups. And so it's like you can make it as robust or scaled back as you want, or you can just handle that like as one variation, that if the image isn't there, we don't render it. If the groups aren't there, we don't render anything, right? So it's up to you. But things like left and right, it's great because we're going to upload a screenshot to make it nice and visual for our editors later, so they don't have to like figure out like what's default. And we could change the name of that too, but we're going to leave it.
Cool.
So we are not
maybe just need to refresh.
Yeah, here we go. So we are now seeing basically what we expected from this kind of setup. I deleted the link because we don't need it. But yeah, we still.
Maybe we can show the variation quickly.
Oh yeah, good call. Thanks. Reversed. There we go. It's that simple. So you just have that nice little change, and with just one little line of CSS, because I'm using the order property, flips it over there. So it
doesn't look as pretty as the design you showed me, but it's getting serious. Like I see this reverse and all, and the variations pretty nice.
And actually, maybe talking about getting into pretty, maybe you can now update the mock so we can show like editing the mock, what it looks like.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
So like I could go through and edit each one of those for the sake of the demo. We've already done that, and you would save the mock content and everything. But for the sake of the demo, I'm just going to go into my mocks.json and paste in what we've prepared, so that you don't have to sit through me typing in content. I'm going to reload so that it recognizes and loads in that file. And now you have something that's a little bit more on brand. Is money the one that we had? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
but like
something like that.
The image is good. So yeah, so now we've got some good mocks that we can work with, and we can continue on. So we want to come back here. And now that we have our heading, body, and image, let's work on. Oh no, we need to think about our structure. Sorry, I thought I was still in the modeling phase. So I'm out of the modeling phase. Now I'm in the all right, how do I build this out phase? And what I did for this component was use the grid, CSS grid. Here, we just want to make this so that the grid columns go up to 5. And for medium, I don't.
So basically, what we want to do, mediums can stay like that.
Okay, cool.
What we want to do here is like we have like our text on the right, on left, and our image on the right. What we said before is like we want our text to take 1/3 and our image to take 2/3. We just update that to give a bit more room to our text. We'll say our text takes 2/5 and our image takes 3/5. This is just like some like nitty-gritty like a design thing to just like make it fit a design that looks a bit better. So that's what Alex is doing right now. Maybe you want some help with the code, like if you're lost, or are you all right?
No, yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
So from there, we're gonna want to go ahead and create a description list. I always forget what the DL stands for, but we're going to create a description list because we have like a title and a description of what that means. So in our code, we're going to say DL, and inside there, we want to map over our the features list. So I'm going to grab this code snippet here. I'm going to grab to there because I'm going to customize it a little bit. And I'm going to say slice primary features. I'm just going to close it after I do that. Okay, so there we go. And then inside here, we can make a div. And we want to use the item. So for the key, we want to use item dot title. And
Yeah,
that
you'll
should be a
need
good
to
key.
run as text on it. So we need to
Oh, thank
key
you.
like
Yes, I always forget.
because we're mapping over like elements and array in React, like we need to give it a unique key. And so we're using the title as a unique key. So to do that, we're transforming the title to a string because it needs to be a string with as text. And then we have a key that is unique for our item.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for the reminder.
You're
And
welcome.
then I'm going to say class name flex. So we're just going to have these items inside flex. And then we need the description title. And in here, we're going to use Prismic rich text to render that out. Right. And oh no, we're just going to use Prismic text because we don't need the paragraph. We want it just to come out inside the DT. And then underneath that, we want a description D. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just have to say them out loud to see like that is the description list, description title, and description
It's
details.
description.
There it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Yeah. So always a bit tricky to keep in my head. But then inside there, we can put the Prismic rich text, and we do want that to render out because this could be like a couple paragraphs. So we don't want to interfere and make that a Prismic text because it'd just be like a weird string that just doesn't look good in the end. So now if we save that and head back to our simulator, we see that we are getting stuff out of there, but that's not exactly how we want it to look. So our content is rendering, but not in the way that we would like. So I'm going to go ahead and add a class name flex1 on this and a class name flex1. And we're also going to put a text slate 300 to make this a little bit not as bright as the title, so it stands out a little bit. And there we go. I'll close our dev tools, and we see that we have this list. Do we have space between each one? Let's add some space between each one. So on the DL, let's put class name.
Okay, so just to summarize a bit what we've done so far, we use the DL elements to render a list of description terms and description details. For each item, like we render them in a flexbox content, and we say like use flex1 to like render each of them as the same size, and then we say like we want some space of 8 well, like that's like 20, well anyway, some value of pixel, some amount of pixel, 32 pixel between each items, so that it looks a bit more like spaced out, and like we can brief a bit more in our design. All right, so
cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've so I forgot actually to add one little design detail here. We have these very subtle headers here. So I'm going to put an HR up at the top. And does this work, the split screen here? Is this helpful?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to say HR, and I'm going to do opacity 15 and margin Y 8. And so we have that. And I also want to put one down here underneath the DL, just to give that, so we can separate that out from what we're going to make in unordered list. So unordered list, and then inside here, we want to map yet again. So let's come get our code snippet and copy to there. And then I'm going to come back here and close that up. Oh, one more parenthesis. Right? Yeah, cool. Yeah. And then inside here, we're going to use list items. So li, and then we need to give it a key. It's going to be item. And now this is going to be fine to use a label because that's actually key text. So that already is coming in as a string, not as a JSON object. So we can use the label right there. And then inside here, we want to add the Prismic Next image for the icon. Let's come grab that, paste that in. And we want to then also just inside a span, put the item.label.
Perfect.
And if we come back, we see that we have
time.
Yeah, for sure. Just
perfect.
Yeah, we got that rendered out. And then inside here, we're actually going to use grid. So on here, we're going to say grid, and grid calls 4, but we need that to only happen maybe on like medium and above, right? Otherwise, we would want them to stack. Let's put a little bit of gap in there. So gap 4 be 1 rem or 16 pixels. And then down to the li, let's say class name, we can do text sm and text slate 300. Once again, we want it to be a little bit less intense than the text we really want to pop out. And then on this image, we want to constrain it. So we're going to say class name is height 6, width 6, and object cover, and a margin bottom of 2 to space it out from the text underneath. Those got nice and small, and they're a little bit spaced. And then the span is good to go. We don't really need to do anything with that. So just like that, we have our slice built out. I think that's pretty much everything. I'm just going to come in real quick and remove a couple of these things. So right now, the slice has a lowered opacity because there's just a little effect on it where as you hover, it gets a little bit brighter, right? So we can remove that because we don't really want the hover effect. Getting rid of that, and then transition opacity, duration 300, hover, and we are set. So we took a component that we already had a good amount built out, and we were able to quickly spin up a new slice for that. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take a snapshot of this, and it's Command Control Shift 4 on the Mac PC. You might need like an app or something for it, but this is one of my favorite tricks is to take a snapshot to the clipboard. And I'm going to come here for default. Wait, this is default, right? Yes. So for default, I'm going to click Update Screenshot, paste right in, and then I'm going to come back, do reversed, and paste, well, first copy, and then paste this in, because that is so much better for my editors to see. Oh, right, I want this one, you know, versus them having to figure it out. It's just a much better experience. So Lucy, am I missing anything?
No, you could. So what's left for us to do now, and so we can work with the size to push it to Prismic. So you might want to attach it to a custom type first.
Not to say, yeah. So we want to go into our page and say, on this page, we want to use this feature slice. We want it to be available to our editors. It doesn't force it into the page. It just puts it like in their toolkit. But in the case study, we're not going to add that. As you can see, we have a bunch that aren't added here. We only have the rich text added to that one. So now that we have it added to a page type, we can go ahead and push both. Cool?
Yeah.
All right. So that's getting pushed to Prismic, and there we go, just like that. Now, Lucy, could you take over and handle some of the content for me?
Sure. So, well, right now, like the developer is done with this work, and content writers can take over and enjoy the new feature that has been added to your website by developers. And that's what I want to show you today by walking you through some of the new features we have in the writing room. So here I'm on our Glisten AI website that was just updated by Alex. And if I go to the home page here, you can see I have my home page content, and on the side when it's loaded, yes, here we go, we can see we have a table of size showing like the slides that are used on this website. Here we can
on this actual page, actually.
On this actual page, yes, sorry.
Sorry.
So here we can see we have the case study slice that was used before, and just before that we can add a new slice that will be our new feature list slice.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah, we have it already with the screenshot that I just took. And, well, they already went over the Atlantic for us.
That's a very nice experience. So as an editor, now I open my toolkit for adding a new slice, and I see how it would look like, and now you add it.
Exactly. So I added my slice, and now we'll just like copy-paste some content from the linear website. So I'll try to do that as quickly as possible, but maybe, Alex, you have something to say about this new slice.
Yeah, no, I just love the fact that we can now build these more complex slices. Like as you saw, and I think I kind of like rushed through parts of it, but if you've been working with Prismic for a while, you know those pains of using repeatable fields and maybe having to kick out to a custom type for that second repeatable group. But now you can build so many more complex things, and we're only trying to get better and better with how we keep the simplicity that you love Prismic for, because like that is one of our best features, I think, is that you're not going to be getting phone calls from your content teams saying, oh, this is giving me a headache. Like I don't know what's what. Like this is just all over the place. There's too many buttons, there's too many options, overwhelm. That's not the Prismic experience. But we want to make sure that developers have the ability to build powerful experiences for the end users, right? Because if you can't put two lists on a slice, it's going to really cut back on what you can ship to users and how you can inform them. So
Yeah,
now,
especially now,
yeah,
right? Especially now,
yeah,
like websites are getting more advanced. There is more content that you can put in a given section, and I believe that having that different groups inside the section is going to give more power to the developers to deliver these very nice websites. But we see here the experience is very straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Especially that you're seeing what's happening in the same time on the preview.
On the side, yeah.
On the side.
And actually, like talking about the experience getting more straightforward, like as you can see, I'm almost done writing my content. I'm just missing the icon here that I need to select from images. And so, well, this is a new feature I want to show you. So I will select my image, and you can see here I don't have my icons yet. So, but I have my icons on my computer. You have just like all my icons, like a little like globe icons, for example, and so on. And what I can do, I can now select all those icons and like bulk upload them to Prismic. So as you can see right now, they're all uploading my icons to the media library. And there's also like a lot of new bulk features. So for example, like now that I have all my icons uploaded, I can select them all. All right, here we go. Okay, it's not cooperating. Here we go.
You're adding one for one slide.
Yeah, so I'm just adding one, but here like I can select all my icons, and one thing I can do, I can tag them. So I'll tag them as icons because those are my icons. And now, well, if I get back and I can go back here, like I can now, like, let's say I have like 1,000 images, I can say, well, I just want to see my icons. So I can say icons, and now I only see my icons in the media library.
Nice.
Also, one thing, like, well, maybe I upload like some icons I don't want to actually have or use on my website. So I can see I can select like multiple icons here. So here I selected 3, and I can like bulk delete them here. And now I only have the icons I actually want to use on my website.
Very nice. But like when you added the bulk, you were in the selection window, or you went back to the media library?
I was in the selection window.
So right in the selection window, you can just drop icons right there, and you don't have to kind of quit, go to media.
Exactly, like you can just upload straight from the page. Like you don't need to go back to the media library and manage your icons there. Like you can do everything here now. You can search from them, you can filter by tags, and so on and so on.
This is very good.
So I just quickly like add my icons here. So like pick one for each of my little checklist items. And well, without further ado, I guess like we're done with our page. I can save it, publish it. And well, as you went, like we have some like little build time and so on, but like yeah, our website is already done here, and we can see if we scroll down, we have our slides just showing up with like all the content we added and like the little icons. And if you want to check it out live, it's available here. And yeah, so wow, that was the new features we added on Sales Machine. And there's one last feature I want to show in the editor that actually, let's say this website, like Listen AI, has to become like international, for example. That's to support multiple local. And so to do so in Prismic, you can have multiple local. Here I have like English and French, for example, but if I go to the French version, I can see I don't have any content in the French version. And one of the new features we've been working on for Prismic that is powered by AI is copy to another local, but not translated with AI. And so here we'll just launch it on the French. So I'll say like, yeah, like take all that American content and translate it to French. I launch it here, and now it's translating. And well, you'll see the result of that in a minute, but I just want like while it's translating to, well, give a quick shout out to our AI features. So if this feature is not widely available for now, it's like restricted access. But if you want to get access to the beta, to play with it, and like to try to translate content on your international website, you can request access to our AI features, which is like translate to another local, but you also have like some AI features related to Slice, maybe Sadek, or you want to talk a bit about that?
You mean the AI features? Yeah, there is several things that basically what we want is to help you be more productive. You know, there are a lot of things that are repetitive tasks, and we want our users to only do the unique thing that they bring into the content experience. So in this kind of case, sometimes you have you know, a lot of pages that you said, and you just want to give like one shot of translating all of them, and then you will go review them probably. And there is a man in the loop, so you're going to review them. We have also other things where you would iterate on a slice. So you will open a given slice and you say, like, hey, can you make this header shorter, or like the hero, can you change this and that? And then it will iterate. You will iterate with AI until you get to something that you like. You can also touch to it. So it's a collaboration between you and the AI to improve a given slice. You can even start a slice from scratch with AI, and a few other things that we're still working on.
Exactly. And well, yeah, I just went back to the writing room, and you can see that now I have my page, like my own page, that has been translated to French with like des designs qui brillent avec une intelligence dynamique and so on, which has been done.
Is it a good translation?
It's fine. Like it's marketing copy, so you definitely want someone like to go over it. But it's getting you like really a kickstart on your content.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's really great. It replicates all the structure you add, and like you can just like go and fine tune your marketing copy from here, which I think is really useful.
Awesome.
Okay. What's the last thing we want to talk about, Alex?
So I would love to point out the fact that we are working on a new demo. So if you've ever been to, let me see, prismic.io/try, if you want to show my screen right now. So if we come to try, we have had this demo here for at least like 9 months, maybe a year, where before this demo, it would take developers maybe 10 minutes to like get the full experience here, maybe even longer, because like you would have to download Slice Machine, get your slices built out, or if you're running from a starter, you would still have to, go through the setup process and then be able to try it out. And so like it just was a lot more investment for a developer, and it was impossible for a content creator who wasn't technical to try out the Prismic experience. And so we created this demo to do just that, and it allows you to move slices around and preview the page and do a lot of the different features that Prismic for. And this has been well received. People have loved it. It's just been something that allows people to jump in here and try Prismic without all that setup. And so we have been working on a new version of that. We've gone in and changed out the website for something a little bit more flashy. We're still working to like perfect those styles, but it's something that the original website was like intentionally more plain, and this one's a bit more fun and has a lot more photographs involved. And that's another one of the things that we've brought to this new demo, is the fact that you can upload images to this demo from your hard drive. And that for content teams, like say you work at an agency or you're a freelancer, you will be able to send this demo to a prospective client and say, hey, check this out. This is the experience you would get if you go with me. If you let me build your website, you'd have something like this. See how you can upload images, see how you can move the slices around. So full disclosure, haven't tried this yet. I'm just realizing this. So this is as you can see, it's a preview demo. We're still kind of workshopping this. So if it doesn't work, I promise you the old current demo does, and this will by the time we launch it. But I have full confidence. And so what we can go ahead and do right now, actually, you know what? I'll run through the guided tour super quick. We have built a new tour component from the ground up to make it work a lot better with the page builder, as well as to follow the design that Prismic has. And you can see like has these nice animations. And if you send this to an editor or whoever else, it will walk them through the process of adding a slice. We don't have snapshots here just yet, but we will by the time it launches. And it just allows them to kind of try it out. And they can come in here and select an image and everything. I'm going to leave the tour and say, yep, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to delete that. And so it's just the real thing. And so if I click preview the page, this actually opens a version of that. And so if I go ahead and say, hey, people on YouTube, and save that, we should see see if we refresh. Maybe I have to hit preview again. We'll see. Okay, so maybe the preview part isn't wired up yet. Interesting.
Yeah, so as we said, like this is a beta website we've been reworking, so like not everything is correctly wired up yet. But our point, I guess, is that like the Prismic IO/try is here for you to discover Prismic, but it's also a tool for you, like if you're working in agencies, to sell Prismic to your future client, because it's really getting really close to what you can get out of Prismic and like feel like what it will be like to, buy on Prismic.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't realize we stopped showing my screen. Yeah. So I went back to the old one and just whipped it up. How's it going? And so right now we can still look here to the old demo.
Yeah,
and
so it's going to work similarly.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And it makes so much a difference. Like if you're in a conference, if you're in a place where there is an event, there are a lot of people, and everyone will be like, hey, if you work with me, I do good designs and that. But you have one more feature that you deliver is the experience. And actually on the go, you can go and tell them like, okay, not only I will deliver a very good website and here's my portfolio, and I advise you to do a portfolio and build a website for it. And there is a course that you did, Alex, about that, that we can actually reference here. But also you open up this try on Prismic, try it now, without signing up, without having an account, nothing. You go there and you start showing the experience and you give them the computer. So like, go ahead, try for your own and see how this works. And that you're selling more than the website. You're selling them all the authoring experience. That's important.
Yeah, and you don't need any signups. It's all public, and you can access to it freely.
And it's not a toy; it's the real product. It's just like made public.
All right.
Cool.
There's a link you want to share, Alex, related to that. I think.
Yeah. So one more thing so the demo's obviously not done yet, but we're going to also improve the experience of it so that once again, content editors who come to it understand Prismic quicker, and same with developers. So we would love to have you join our user testing group. We have a link that should be in the chat. If you want to kind of give us some feedback on it, let us know your thoughts. We would love to have you, and you'd be hanging out with me for a little bit. So if that sounds fun, click the link below.
Well, very good. And actually, globally in Prismic, we are building in public, and everything that you're seeing that we're showing you now, there has been a lot of iterations with our users. First with some kind of mock-ups, and then with a real actual feature developed. And there are, like a lot of back and forth until we get to something that is satisfying, that is simple, that bring a lot of value for them, and you can be part of it as well. So it's just all what you have to do is to join our list for the given feature. There is a whole mini website for what we're working on Prismic. I guess it's /progress or /what's new.
Yes, it's I think it's progress.
/updates. So you go Prismic.io /updates, and then you have all the kind of features. Yeah, very good. And you have all of these, and then when you go inside it, you have a form that you can fill so that you can participate in building this feature, so that you make it yours as well. I'm sure you have some input about certain features. There has been some in the chat as well. So there you can be early in there, and you can actually make an impact for not only for you but for the whole community. So don't hesitate. Click that button. Give us your coordinates, and we'll get back to you.
So. Well, that was for the new features we wanted to talk to you about, and some of the soon upcoming ones. Well, if you have any questions, now is the time. Otherwise, well, I guess that will be all for today.
Yeah, I mean, I love how we went into, actually we developed a real section, a real word. It's not a hello word, it's a real word section that is pretty nice, and we did it in a very few time, and that shows also how not only simple slices are, but also powerful now becoming for more advanced sections. It allowed us to show also the improvements here and there. Don't hesitate to ask questions. We are here also to listen and to improve all what we have. But yeah, go try it out. See how powerful it is. Add more sections for your marketing teams so that they have these advanced slices. And I guess see you next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. We're taking a summer break, right? should we just mention that?
Yeah, so we're not doing the August meetup.
Yes.
We're taking a summer break, so it will be the September meetup. So see you in the September meetup, and thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for the great live coding, and yeah, see you in September.
See you next time.
Thanks, Lucy.
Cheers.
Thanks, Sadek. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye. Thanks, Lucy. Thanks.